Cristiano Ronaldo has played under some of the greatest managers in football history: Sir Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, Zinedine Zidane, and many more. But when asked about Carlo Ancelotti, the Portuguese superstar always speaks with a special kind of admiration. Why? Because Ronaldo believes Ancelotti had a secret weapon that transformed both him and Real Madrid into one of the most unstoppable teams in football history. And no, it wasn't just about tactics, it was something much deeper. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button if you love football stories, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our weekly breakdowns of the game's biggest legends.
In the summer of 2013, Real Madrid made a bold move. They appointed Carlo Ancelotti as manager. At that time, Madrid was desperate for stability. The pressure of La Liga, the failure to win the Champions League, and the weight of expectations were heavy. Cristiano Ronaldo was already a global superstar, scoring goals at a ridiculous rate. But he was also frustrated. Under previous managers, the tactical demands were strict, and the constant spotlight created unnecessary tension. Ronaldo wanted freedom, and he needed trust. That's exactly what Ancelotti brought with him.
Unlike other managers, Ancelotti didn't overcomplicate things. He didn't drown players in instructions or try to reinvent the wheel. His tactical system was simple, flexible, and designed to get the best out of his stars. One of his key tools was the 4-3-2-1 formation, also known as the Christmas tree. This setup gave Ronaldo the license to attack from wide positions, cut inside, and play with freedom, without being restricted by defensive responsibilities. Instead of forcing Ronaldo into the system, Ancelotti built the system around him. That in itself was part of the secret.
The real secret. But according to Ronaldo, the true secret weapon wasn't just tactical, it was Ancelotti's man management. Ancelotti had a unique way of handling superstar egos. He treated everyone with respect, whether it was Ronaldo, Gareth Bale, or the last player on the bench. He rarely raised his voice, choosing instead to listen, support, and guide. Ronaldo once said that Ancelotti was like a big teddy bear. That may sound funny, but what he meant was clear. Ancelotti was the kind of coach players wanted to fight for. This emotional bond gave players confidence. They weren't afraid to make mistakes. They weren't scared of failure. And when you give Cristiano Ronaldo that kind of freedom and trust, the results are inevitable.
In his very first season, Ancelotti guided Real Madrid to one of the most historic achievements in club history, La Décima, their 10th Champions League title. That year, Cristiano scored an incredible 17 goals in the Champions League, a record that still stands. He was unstoppable, and he credited much of his success to the calm leadership of Ancelotti. The final against Atletico Madrid was the perfect example of Ancelotti's philosophy. Real Madrid never panicked, even when they were trailing. They trusted the system, trusted the coach, and in the end, lifted the trophy. Quick reminder, if you're enjoying this story, hit the notification bell so you never miss when we drop new football stories like this one. Carlo Ancelotti isn't just respected, he's statistically one of the most successful managers in football history. He's the only coach to win the league in all of Europe's big 5 leagues: Serie A, Premier League, Ligue 1, Bundesliga, and La Liga. He's the first manager ever to win 4 Champions League titles as a coach. Across his career, his teams have scored thousands of goals under his leadership while maintaining incredible win percentages. At Real Madrid alone, his win rate sits around 75%, one of the highest in club history. These numbers prove what Cristiano was talking about. Ancelotti's methods weren't just nice, they worked, and they worked everywhere. If stats like these blow your mind, smash that like button so we can cover more manager deep dives like this one. Beyond the tactics and numbers, what really sets Ancelotti apart are the stories players tell about him. Zlatan Ibrahimovic once said Ancelotti was the best coach I ever had. because he treated him like family. Andrea Pirlo described him as a genius in making complicated things simple. Even Cristiano Ronaldo recalled moments when Ancelotti would crack jokes before big matches, easing the pressure and letting players step onto the pitch relaxed but focused. At Real Madrid, players often said that when Ancelotti spoke, he didn't need to shout. His quiet authority carried more weight than any raised voice. These anecdotes reveal exactly why players fight for him. They don't just respect his tactics, they love the man himself.
Even years later, long after their time together, Ronaldo still praises Ancelotti. In interviews, he highlights the Italian's ability to make players feel valued and his gift for keeping a squad united. For Cristiano, that trust and confidence was the secret weapon that separated Ancelotti from so many other managers.
What made Ancelotti unique? So what exactly made Ancelotti different? While many coaches imposed their system on players, Ancelotti did the opposite. He adapted his system to fit his stars. He gave Ronaldo freedom, he gave Modric and Kroos control of the midfield, and he allowed his defenders to play to their strengths. Ancelotti's philosophy was simple. Football is about players, not just tactics. And when those players feel trusted, they deliver. The legacy, Cristiano Ronaldo thrived under Ancelotti. Together, they won trophies, broke records, and created one of the most successful eras in Real Madrid's history. But beyond the silverware, what stood out most was the bond between player and coach. For Ronaldo, Ancelotti wasn't just a tactician. He was a leader, a motivator, and above all, a man who understood the human side of football.